Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the recent implementation of the YouTube Heroes program by YouTube. I've watched two videos about this. I know that I've gotten a lot of tweets about it, that my weekly flags recap is about to be a daily flags recap because of all the flagging that it's going to create. And I figured that I'm pretty knowledgeable about this subject, and some people might be waiting for my opinion on this. Prior to making this video, I watched Phil DeFranco talk about it. I watched my buddy Kizzume, and I watched the actual video from YouTube. And Kizzume's video was very much the sky is falling, the sky is falling, and maybe it'll be a good thing. But the YouTube video itself was the one that frightened me because of the whole giving perks to people for flagging. Because no matter what the perk is, in every website as large as YouTube with so many users per day, if you give any perk, people will treat it like a video game and try to win it. You know? And flagging for the sake of flagging, I don't really agree with. And I'm pretty sure you all have heard me say time and again, please stop flagging each other. I put that at the beginning and the end of every weekly flags recap. And I think that there is a place for flags. Self-moderation by the YouTube community, of the YouTube community, is important. And I think it's good for me to say up front that there are videos that I have flagged even in the past week. And that I'm not, when I say please stop flagging each other, I mean in your communities when you're having conversations. I don't mean don't flag something that is obviously not supposed to be on YouTube. Like, for instance, porn, right? I know that there might be a very fine line between art and porn, and there are some videos here on YouTube that are not, you're not able to flag them down. They keep persisting no matter how many times people try to remove them. There's one where there's just a whole bunch of naked people fucking holes in the ground. And then there's the Serbian film that's been on YouTube for fucking ever. That it's called the Serbian film. It's but those are artsy things. Even the group of people fucking holes in the ground. They were intended as art, and I know that some people still would like cross that line into what's art and what's porn and just push that even further. But there are things on this website, in this YouTube community, that have popped up that do not belong here, and universally everyone understands it. Everyone. And I think those things do need to be flagged down, and they do need to be found quicker than they do get found. And when I tell you guys that I have flagged videos before, there is a correlation to whether or not I'm going to flag a video when I find it. If it is against the terms of service, there is a very high likelihood. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this, but there's a high likelihood that the person who uploaded the video is going to put in the description, I hope this video doesn't get flagged down. This video will probably get flagged down. The whole way that I found the video in the first place was I have aggregators for my weekly flags recap that search for the word flagged. You know, they search for other words like DMCA and copyright and bring them all into one spot, and I get to see, which ones are talking about them being flagged or them having a DMCA put on them, and that's what ends up in the Weekly Flags Recap video series. But just putting the word flagged in your video, I'm going to see it. And so many of these videos that deserve to be flagged, the uploader knows it, and they're uploading it, and they're saying to everyone in the description, I know that this video is against the terms of service. It could get flagged. Maybe you should grab a copy now. I hope it doesn't happen. Whatever, but they know it, and you can tell that they know that it shouldn't be here. So some examples of videos that I have flagged before, and I would again. In this past week, I believe there were two. One was hentai, and it wasn't like softcore hentai where it was just assumed that someone was making love in this Japanese cartoon because the car's rocking. No, this was so graphic as to be able to see the vaginal juices coming out of the vagina onto the penis, and after the penis was done, you get to see the trickle of semen coming out of that vagina. When it's that graphic, I'm like, you know what? That's over the line. I'm going to flag it. That belongs on Pornhub or YouPorn. Great sites. I don't have any problem with people going there, but this website, YouTube, is a community of people that have decided that porn doesn't belong. Art, maybe, rocking vans and cars in a cartoon, that's okay. But when you get to just graphic shit, and not even within the context of the larger cartoon, this is just the one little clip of School Days, I think it was, that was clipped out, and it's just the porn part, So that I flagged. And also, there was another video that I flagged of, it was dogs humping people. Now, if it were just like everyone in a room laughing about a little tiny dog humping a leg, that's one thing. But when it's a compilation of people who are actively presenting their buttocks in a sexually suggestive manner in order to get large dogs to try to penetrate them, at a certain point, it's over the line, and it needs to not be on this website. It's actually a fetish porn. It's a horrible bestiality zoophilia thing that deserves to be on YouPorn or Pornhub or somewhere else, not here. So those are the two that I remember flagging this week. How did I get to finding them? My aggregators for the Weekly Flags Recap. And so when I see this point system for the YouTube Heroes program of, let's see, it says earn points with YouTube Heroes, and then it's got like tiers, and it says an accurate report of a video that violates the community guidelines, you're going to get 1 point for, right? So the rewards for this, the first tier, the level 1, all you have to get is like you have to have between 0 and 9 points. I guess you just get accepted into the program and have 0 and 9 points. I'll be out of level 1 in 2-3 weeks with my frequency of flagging videos, right? If I were to get accepted to this program, 10 to 99 points, I would have level 2 in a couple months, level 3, to be able to get to that point, just based on flags alone, not doing any of the other things that it would take to earn things like captioning videos. You get points for that, and helping people in the help forums. Not doing any of that and just flagging, it would only take me a couple of months to get into about level 3. And then there's 4 and 5. And if I really put my mind to it, if you get to the level 3 and you have this mass flagging videos tool, if you get 1 point for every accurate one, I know there's a whole bunch of categories of things that you could search for here on YouTube that could get you up to level 4 and 5 really quickly. Really quickly. I know that somebody else that I've talked with about this disagreed with me, but if it's crush porn, where they're taking videos of like puppies and mice and bugs and whatnot, and just like stomping on them with shoes so that people can get off. I don't think that belongs on this website. It probably is illegal in a lot of different countries, and there's a good there's a good metric right there of whether or not you should flag something. How many countries is this illegal in? You know, all of them? Okay, well, doesn't belong on YouTube. You know? So, what I went ahead and did is I hit the submit button for joining the YouTube Heroes program. And I think that I would be a good candidate for a hero on YouTube because I would be completely transparent about what I was doing. And I have a very horrible experience that happened to me in the past with a program similar to this. Some of you remember this, some of you don't. It has to do with the big beef that happened between me and Happy Cabby. And you can read about that in his Encyclopedia Dramatica article that's written about him. But you could also just search videos on my channel about it. But the brief summary, for those of you who don't know, this YouTube Heroes thing is just a rebranding of a program that Happy Cabby got into. So he had information from behind the scenes about videos that were being flagged because he was in a program just like this. And he was giving me those the information of very horrible things that had been flagged down on YouTube with a sock account, and he was intending to feed me this information, and then with his Happy Cabby account and persona, accuse me of promoting these horrible things that had been flagged. And every time that I got this report that was just a list of horrible things and like racist people, horrible fetish porn that was damaging to animals and people, all sorts of stuff like that, I would put that this report came from Helen906, the sock account that he was sending it to me through. And I didn't put it as part of my regular report because I did think that there was something odd about it. And when he was publicly lashing out at me for saying, "Oh no, you're supporting these things by giving links to where to find them and links to their videos complaining about it," I'm like, no, I'm covering flagging as a whole, as a concept, and we're discussing this over a long period of time, you know. That's actually why I added the disclaimer in the beginning of every weekly flags recap that I do not support or endorse anyone that I talk about in the video unless I explicitly say so. Right? So that actually turned me off to the conversation and the activism of freedom of speech topics that I was interested in for a couple years. And it wasn't until after I got over that butt hurt, just before Happy Cabby died, that I brought back the weekly flags recap. And I feel like many people are interested in the topic, and every week I get a couple hundred views on the video, and I'm happy doing that. You know, it's one of those things where it's tedious, and many people would probably have stopped by now because it's so time-consuming to do something every week. You know, week in, week out, just do the same thing. But I feel like it's interesting enough to me to keep going. But that one little speed bump that I had with Happy Cabby using a program very much like YouTube Heroes in order to basically misuse it, in order to, behind the scenes, do things like protect channels that had been targets of flagging that maybe didn't deserve protecting. You know, the way that he got all of these features unlocked and he was behind the scenes in this community run program on YouTube, that was a horrible abuse of power. And I feel like if I'm accepted into the YouTube Heroes program, I at least have the experience of what happens when somebody abuses the powers that they're given, you know? And that as a perspective, I think, would keep me from being as evil as that was. And I know there was more evil connected to it. I don't want to get into it in this video, but I'm saying many people looking at this program are afraid that this is going to be, you know, the end of YouTube, and that there's going to be mass flagging of every little thing, and anyone who says the word fuck in a video is going to get it flagged down. And my feelings is this is nothing new. This is just another rebranding. You know, I know that there have been programs like this before, and I like that when people see incentives for flagging, that they don't like it. You know, that they're immediately repulsed by it. I've seen a lot of that, and they're immediately fearful for freedom of speech, and I love that. You know, but I'd say that this could be a tool that can help the whole community. And so I've submitted my application. I hope that any of you that are watching me and have seen anything that I've said in the weekly Flags recap, if you've even just watched one, I feel like you're better off as a candidate for the YouTube Heroes program than most people, because you understand that there are things that should not be flagged, and that people are abusing the flagging system to take down the speech of people that they simply disagree with. And we need to get to a better system. And hopefully, as YouTube goes through different programs and keeps rebranding programs and tweaking them, we'll finally get to the point where people aren't just silenced because they had a differing opinion, you know? And we can just get rid of all the please come fuck me my dog porn, you know?